This episode of the Prestige TV podcast is brought to you by Coffee Mate.
Coffee Mate has been searching the globe for flavors that pair perfectly with coffee.
So when they heard that the new season of HBO's The White Lotus was set in Thailand, they were inspired to brew up 2 new flavors, Thai iced coffee and pina colada flavored creamers.
They're available for a short time only. So for the love of coffee, go try them now.
Hi, everyone. It's Amy Poehler, and I'm launching a new podcast called Good Hang. In preparation for that, I asked some of my friends to send in some videos and give me some advice.
Just be yourself and the guests will come.
Don't be the celebrity that this is their 6th thing they're doing.
I love true crime and cooking podcasts. Is there any way you could combine the two?
Well, everyone has an opinion and a podcast. So join me for Good Hang. It's rough out there. We're just trying to lighten it up a little.
The Prestige TV podcast brought to you by the Ringer Podcast Network. You can watch this on video on Spotify. You can watch it on YouTube on the Ringer-TV YouTube channel. Joanna Robinson is here. Mallory Rubin is here.
Hello.
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 I'm just, you look great, but you look tired.
Yeah.
It might be the drinking.
The old Doctor Who.
Yeah. Doesn't she look
Doesn't
tired?
she look tired?
She looks
Yeah,
great. No,
brutal.
but just looks tired.
Well,
Anyway,
you and Mallory's always going after it. You know what I mean?
I was going to say to you that your numbers seem like those of a man half your age. I guess
That's how I
we came
feel.
in with
It's all the
different
walking.
energies today.
She
Yeah.
says that to everyone, though.
all the walking. We are covering episode 2, White Lotus. If you missed episode 1, that is already out there.
Yeah.
In the library and the archives. We have intentionally not been watching ahead. We've all made a pact.
It's been very
Why'd you
tough.
make a face?
'Cause I
Have you
was
watched
moving-
ahead?
No, I
Okay.
never watch ahead. I actually hate watching ahead.
I'm the problem.
Joe's the problem.
All right.
I'm
So-
the
But
problem
I'm
in
not.
other respects, but not in this
We
respect.
taped episode 1 yesterday, and then we had
Yes.
to power watch
Yeah.
twice episode 2, and it's getting good. Your favorite thing about episode 2, Joe?
Goggins getting to be a bit more Goggins.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goggins is back.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
Rick episode.
Yeah.
That was mine too, because it feels like now, okay, the Ratliffs were really the stars of episode 1. This was a big Rick Chelsea episode. I'm expecting that episode 3, as a result, will be Laurie, Jacqueline, and
You can
Kate
say
time.
the Cougars if
The
you want to. I have a
Cougars.
Cougars.
Yes.
I have a
The fancy
Cougars theory.
Cougars. We can call them the fancy
I have a
Cougars.
Cougars theory about why I feel great about calling them Cougars. They're
Wonderful.
apex predators.
I love it.
Are they not?
Yeah.
And they're looking for the weakest one among them
Yeah.
to sort of pick off. It's wild.
Oh,
I
I like that.
But yeah, Rick, the dinner scene with Greg when he has Greg's number. And he's
Excuse me,
like,
Joanna. He goes by Gary now.
okay. The dinner-
Gary.
Imagine
dinner
going
with
into hiding for Thailand in a year and being like, Greg, I know what I'll do.
Greg's out.
Gary.
Gary's in.
I would have gone I don't know,
Yeah, Bill.
different first letter.
What's
You
your
can't
what's
say
your
on the
on the
podcast
run
what
name?
you're going to hide under one day.
No,
You
but I
gotta-
want to hear
But
it.
if I'm Greg, I'm going to Mitchell or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that
okay,
doesn't
somewhere
sound
else in the
remotely
alphabet.
like Greg.
Yeah.
I'm not just changing the last 3 letters.
But do you want to
after
get
the
super
G.
fancy and be like Aloysius or something like that? They'll never suspect
No,
it. Is that
for
too
him,
far?
yeah, probably. But even Michael, it's just anything.
Yeah, Michael. Michael
Anyway,
would have been totally
Greg Gary.
acceptable.
When he's talking to Gary,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What do you do, Gary?" That just that
This and
Goggins
that.
smile came
Yeah.
out, and he's just sort of like, "This piece of shit, I recognize you." It was great.
Little this, little that.
Little
Yeah.
this, little
Oh,
that.
I
that
do
going
also
around.
do a little this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
little that. So that was your favorite as well, Goggins?
Yeah, it was just a thrill to have more time with Rick, and for the thing about Goggins that's such a wonderful brew
Hmm.
is she likes to gently, lovingly mock me when my Baltimore accent comes out when I say brew. The menacing quality that's always under the surface, but the fact that you were so magnetically drawn to him,
Yeah.
that was present with Rick in this episode. In the first episode, it was like, you're really actually just a dick to Chelsea, huh?
Yeah.
And here, we got that, but immediately followed by what struck me as a wave of shame for
Yeah.
calling her an idiot. We see a lot more emotional range from
The
him, and of
warm
course we
hug.
learn,
the warm
when
hug
she-
after the robbery.
yeah, running to
seemed
her and embracing
genuine.
her. Yeah, and of course
agree.
we learned
That-
some backstory.
Well,
Yeah.
we talked in episode 1 is what's the actual relationship with this? And we were debating, is this a prostitute he picked up or somebody who's
Well,
running a bit with him or?
you were debating it.
You-
yeah.
That was
Well, I
that
didn't know
both
if it
of
was
you.
somebody he hired
Yeah.
because he's trying to do a mission.
Well,
But
Chloe,
the
we know.
clear
Chloe,
prostitute
yeah, we know.
is
but you're right, because Rick was like, I am very sure of what's going on here.
Yes.
He clocked it immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
But
man of the world.
the Chelsea Rick relationship really.
So good.
Yeah,
Really,
and then, like
She's
we were
amazing.
like, when are we gonna get a sex scene? We get a sex scene in this episode, and
Boy,
it's just
did
like
we.
it seems like
it was
prelude.
It was a PG-13
Just
sex scene.
some nipple
It was a
suckling.
boob grab.
Yeah.
That was
well,
about
a
it.
little bit more than grab.
I think we
a
should
grab with his
note
mouth, but yes.
Walton Goggins, a 53-year-old man, looks incredible shirtless.
What?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh my God.
And there just was like some real tenderness, I felt like, between
Yes.
them there. So
Agreed.
you understood their connection a bit better. I
Yeah.
think.
And
Well-
she got a scrub and a wax, so she was ready.
She was ready.
Scrub wax. This was the episode. I couldn't get a handle on our girl Amy Lou.
Yeah.
First episode. She's very distinct looking,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She's got the big teeth.
The
That's like
teeth,
a big feature, and
wonderful,
she's
yeah.
got this happy. And I was like, I don't know, but by episode 2, I'm all in.
You're in.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
just
great.
mega crush on her now,
She's
and
amazing.
really worried she's going to die at the end of this episode.
She did
She
say,
seems like a pure delight.
she said twice in this episode, I almost died today. Like,
Yeah.
I just need the show to stop making us think about how Chelsea could or almost died. It's too stressful.
She feels safe to me. I couldn't tell you why.
My favorite thing in the episode, the Cougars win again for me. This
Fantastic.
was Dave
Yeah.
Jacoby's trust triangle in action. Dave Jacoby
Yeah.
always had this thing, our friend Dave Jacoby,
Yeah.
about if there's 3 people, 2 are always closer than any other 2 in the triangle.
Yeah.
And if you're going to tell, like, if I'm talking to you two
Yeah.
are super close. I'm also close to Mallory.
Yeah.
And there would be some trust triangle stuff with Mallory, but I think she'd side to you because you have a pod. But you just always have to keep the trust triangle in mind. If I tell Mallory something,
Yeah.
will she pass it along? Who is she closer to? And in this case,
Ooh, the dynamics. This is so
Boy.
complicated.
Yeah.
What a rich subplot.
well, in
But
this
she's,
case,
she's definitely the Kate. I feel like in a triangle, there's always like a hinge. You know what I mean?
Well, he's
also
the Jacqueline,
polyamory. But
of
like,
course.
no, but here's
Yeah.
the thing.
Which
In the
makes
trust
me
triangle, I don't think,
tired.
but I don't think,
Sorry, that's I the best.
I don't think anyone trusts anybody more than anyone else. That's what made this so interesting. It's like whatever 2 are left alone, they're going to talk shit about the one who's not there. And that's what we have established now.
I'm interested to see Lori and Jacqueline if they go after Kate, which there's plenty to go after. But I just thought in both of those scenarios,
Oh, that'll be episode 3. You kidding?
I hope so. But in both those scenarios, my favorite person to watch in both those scenarios was Leslie Bibb as Kate, because there was just something about her like feline smile when she's just sort of like, well, you know, and
Yeah.
she's just like
Oh my
so excited to dig in, like all couched in concern and all of, oh my God.
Big
Yeah.
fake
Juicy.
smile.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I didn't know she was this good of an actress.
She's great in this.
This is like
She's great.
like kind of a monster performance by her so far.
I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like this is part of White Lotus's genius is like sometimes you
Yeah.
see someone who you've seen in a ton of things and then Mike White is like, no, I know exactly what to do with this energy.
Yeah.
I have a great idea for this.
Yeah.
I mean, the most fun scene with her was the Parker Posey scene at the brunch. That was the scene of the episode.
I agree.
Simply
I
astonishing.
agree. Because I mean, Parker Posey also tremendous in that. Like
I don't know how they filmed that without like laughing.
her
Unbelievable.
catatonic smile, her just sort of like squinting and smiling. Oh my God. That is such a power move. Could you ever pull that at a restaurant if someone, or have you? If someone comes up to you is like, do you remember we spent a weekend together in Austin and you just smile at them
You're like,
silently?
Just really trying to enjoy my lovely fruit plate
Yeah.
here.
Just
Like,
that
I
was
just want to pound fruit right
yeah,
now.
just
I'm
want some
zonked
cantaloupe,
out.
baby.
That was so fascinating. Like, she did have a beat of what I thought was nervous energy. Like, there's obviously okay, I'm not interested. I'm here with my family that's on the surface because she's saying it to them after. But it seems like maybe she did something that weekend that she doesn't want Kate to share
Oh.
Maybe my interpretation
That's a
is that
good
she
one.
doesn't remember.
because she's
And
just
it's-
zonked out on drugs.
Because she's knocked out on
all the
drugs
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like nervous covers.
Right.
For I don't remember you.
I spent an entire
Oh,
weekend
wasn't
with
your
you.
hair different? And then you're a little
It's just
embarrassed,
like,
so
I mean,
you're
not
like kind of
really.
bitchy about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you sort of laugh it off with your family and say like actresses are prostitutes and just sort of trying to cover.
That was also a great moment for all of the actors at the table.
Yeah.
The number of like meta commentary moments through
yeah.
these 2 episodes so far. And this cast is really game. Like they're really down both in the macro and the specific things about them that they know maybe people have whispered or said.
we talked about this
We talked about it off mic. And then
Yeah.
it's like, we got to bring it on mic in this
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
because it was so central to the text. Like the conversations are just all about these things. And you can't cast these roles unless the performers are like willing to participate
for
actively in
Walton
those
Goggins to be like,
conversations.
I'm not going bald.
Yeah.
And Amy Lou's character being like, Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or
That
them
was great.
talking about, oh, she had a little bit more than the basics
A little bit
done.
more
than
She
the
like
basics, yeah.
sandblasted. She looks waxy.
Looks a little waxy.
Yeah.
She
You
looks
know-
great.
Everyone looks amazing.
She looks great.
Yeah.
I guess we can go through and dip through some of the major moments. The Cougars talking about Carrie Coon when she wasn't there.
Dude, this was
So we
savage.
learn she got divorced from a freeloader.
Mhm.
Yep.
Has
We learned
PayPal
that-
money.
Has to pay alimony. We learn her daughter is violent,
Yes.
leading Leslie Bibb to start bashing the New York City school system.
She throws furniture. And how do you raise your kid in New York? Because they're all like sucking each other off at 8 years old.
Yeah, but that happens in Texas too.
It does.
The kids are sucking each other off at 8 years old. It's in the running for best line of the season so far.
But I love
Astonishing.
I cannot wait for them to turn on Kate, because Kate's little monologue about how she talked herself into liking beans is maybe one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
That was
Well, so more
wild.
backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
She always defined herself by her work.
Yeah, brutal.
Didn't get the big promotion. No wonder she looks defeated. Well, she looks great. Yeah, she does. She does. She also looks tired. And then maybe it's the drinking. They're just fucking everything. The shovel.
Everything.
And then all of a sudden she shows up and they have to pretend they weren't talking about her.
Shut
Is that what
up.
happened?
Genuine jump scare.
Yeah.
Genuine
Throws
jump
herself
scare.
into
Yeah.
a locked door, hammered.
But here's the question. Do you think she heard them?
I don't.
I don't think she
I
heard
don't.
them, though obviously she suspects that they're talking about her just from having like watched them previously. And then we get that nice bookend of
With
Jacqueline
Jacqueline.
at the end, hearing them whispering, and she just we don't know if she can make out what they're saying, but it doesn't matter. She knows they're talking.
Yeah.
It's like the exact thing you say, whenever one member of that group leaves the room, they know the other
But
person is talking about
What's
them.
fascinating about Jacqueline, her
You
psychology.
mean Jacqueline Lemon, TV star?
I loved that we got the full name.
Jacqueline Lemon.
Is
Jacqueline
wonderful.
Lemon.
Wonderful.
That she didn't creep up to listen to what they were saying.
Yeah.
And I think it speaks to like the
At the
psychology
end, you
of,
talk about.
yeah, at the end, she's like, they're whispering. Obviously, they're whispering about me. Obviously, they would be jealous of me and
Right.
talk about me while I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm going to go
there.
take a bath.
Yeah. Okay. They're
They must
just
be
jealous,
talking about
of
how
course.
great I
Yeah,
look.
exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I feel like the through line in all of the different versions of the trust triangle so far is like concern, but it's hot goss. Like they just can't wait to spill the tea, masqueraded as
This
concern.
is so human, though. I don't know.
Totally.
Like
It's
I've
completely
experienced this
relatable.
inside of
Absolutely.
like I don't know if it's crosses gender, but definitely inside of female friendships
For sure.
where it's just this sort of like this shit talking couched as concern.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's that
What do you
sort
think
of
is
like
going on with this bitch? I really hope she's like okay.
I'm sure she's fine. She'll be
this is, like,
okay.
so
She's a
true to life.
survivor. But there's the giddiness.
Survivor.
Yeah, but there's like a giddiness that comes to it. It's
Yeah.
like it's gross.
Let me tell you something. I've been with my wife a long time,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
1998.
This was
and
familiar
I've
to
also
you?
dated other girls
Yeah, yeah.
before her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was always my favorite thing about
Yeah.
dating somebody is listening to that dynamic of all of these relationships.
Yeah.
And especially if the group gets bigger, like in college, you have these groups of like
Oh yeah.
12, 13 girls. And there's like 5 different cliques that all hate each other. And then within the little cliques, there's drama going on. It's amazing.
There's like it's that specific, no, I love her, but
Right.
But it's the
Yeah.
dot,
Yeah, yeah.
but.
That they have
yeah.
really mastered in these 2 episodes so far. It's like not even a full beat; it's a half beat, right? Before they either finally jump in, it's like, oh, I'm reluctant to take the bite. No, I'm going to make a whole meal out of
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
dive
yeah.
right in, or the inverse of
the
that.
vanity.
Well, there's some
Wonderful.
friends that just will not go there though. Like my wife has definitely had a couple over the years that it's like if the shit talking's around, they're just out. They're like,
Yeah.
you're like this actually. You're not a shit talker.
No, I try not.
If they're shit talker, you're just out. You'll
I'm kinda
listen,
like,
but you're not
well,
saying
so
anything.
this is what's interesting about this is like, and I've been trying to think about their dynamic of, we don't have a lot of time with them so far, but it's like, why are these people choosing to spend time together, right? I'm at the point in my life, genuinely, you've both heard me say a version of this where I'm like, I kind of like don't feel like I need new friends. Like it's wonderful when I make a new friend, but I
Yeah.
like want to spend time with people I genuinely care about.
Is Joanna your last new friend?
Oh my God, I got in before you closed the door.
Yeah,
It's
you got
entirely
it in the
possible.
nightclub. The nightclub closed.
I'll have to think about it. It's entirely possible. We've like known each other for like 7 years and very well for 4 years. So I've probably made at least one new friend since then, but I might not have. I'll have to reflect on
I feel like when you don't leave your house, you don't need to make a lot
That's
of friends.
true. That's true. So they're like, you can't really like.
With the Postmates guy.
Yeah,
They got
no.
close.
I mean, Adam usually answers
Caviar
the door.
guy.
Honestly, I have not met any of them. You can't really make new memories when you only have dinner twice a year. And then Jacqueline's like, I mean, I haven't really even seen Laurie in 4 years. Why are they here telling themselves how much they care about
It's
each
amazing.
other?
It's
and
an amazing
they each have
thing.
surely a different reason for that. Like for Jacqueline, it feels like this is how I tether myself to some sense of like, I'm still a regular, normal person, but also those people who make me feel that way are going to tell me how great I am and make me feel special.
I think it's the opposite.
That's the relationship that lets her feel both of those
I think
things.
she wants to feel like the most beautiful, rich, famous around her. Like, my sense is that Kate is also enormously wealthy, but like,
yes.
Her insecurity inside of this relationship she has with this guy that she's obsessed with, who's 10 years younger than her, but she's feeling insecure. She wants to be around people who are normal so she can feel special.
I agree with Joanna. I think, there's the baggage of these people all grew up together. So they had to compete in a whole bunch of different ways at a younger age.
I like that it's like she's telling all the rich and famous and people around her who are making shows with her, no, I'm just going to hang out with my friends from home. But then when she's with them, she gets to feel special. Yeah. So it's like it's the one relationship in her life, presumably, that still allows her to like access all of that.
No, but there's one other piece of that, though. These are the people that knew her before anything happened to her.
Right.
So you're always going to have a different relationship with people that knew you and whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So now she's this famous actress. She has a manager, an agent. She has all the people on the show. She has all these like fake Hollywood friends. But these people, hypothetically in her head, these are the ones that know me for me. And yet she's just as fake with them.
They're also keepers of the memory. Like we got the story about like, remember the talent show we did together, this, that, and the other thing. I found Jacqueline's reaction to finding out that Laurie had the same biometrics she had and got the same spiel from Valentine was so funny.
Incredible.
She was furious that she wasn't like the leader.
Is that right?
Yeah,
do you think that's right?
My hydration level was one of the highest he's ever seen. No one will ever say that.
The thing is, like, we did a live rewatchables, and one of your best friends came and hung out with us for the night.
Allison.
She just was
Legend.
Mal's friend who just joined us.
Yeah.
Mal wasn't just constantly going, we're best friends. We've known each other forever. We're so close. Like, you usually say that if it's not actually that close.
Oh, and that was the point they made about
that she says that about me.
That was the point they made about her marriage.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you feel compelled to say out loud, we're addicted to each other.
Right.
Ultimate red flag. I don't trust people. This used to be my thing back in the day, 100 years ago with Rachel Ray. I'm like, this just seem like, can anybody enjoy anything, even the act of
Rachel
cooking?
Ray catching strays in
I'm
2025?
sorry. I should say I have not engaged with any Rachel Ray content in a really long time.
Yeah, I know.
But like my sister used to watch it. This was when I was a kid, like in high school. And I was just like, this level of happiness, I can't understand it. It doesn't seem true to me.
We gotta stay on this for a second.
Well,
I'm probably sharing too much, but this is
the child of divorce energy from the side of the
we're
table.
just naturally suspicious of love at all times.
Yeah.
No, but this is.
So I can't get enough of my husband. Give me a fucking break.
No, I'm sharing too much,
on.
but I get suspicious when couples do too much social media about their relationship.
Oh yeah.
I always talk to I'm
well,
like,
it's a performance.
The divorce crows are circling.
Yeah.
Anytime the pictures start coming fast and furious, I always assume something bad happened.
Yeah.
I don't really do any of that stuff. I did get my wife Valentine's Day flowers today.
How lovely.
Yeah.
4 hours into the morning, Adam and I remembered that we had forgotten it was Valentine's Day. I only remember because we are prepping for our V-Day Quickie podcast. I mentioned it to him, and I swear to God, he said, I gotta go say Happy Valentine's Day to Halo.
That was his answer, your cat?
And I was like, me too. So in that sense, we remain in lockstep. But yeah.
No, but you guys both talk about your spouses and like the stuff that you guys watch together and stuff like that. You just don't have to like, you don't have to like perform it. It's the performance that is the red flag.
And that's where social media gets really interesting. But that's like,
great take.
Even with these three going away together, and I don't know if they're going to do this in a later episode, but like the Instagram posts of them together, like all the phoniness that comes with that stuff.
In their yoga
one of them
gear.
will do it.
Yeah.
Lululemon, the passing by in the yoga gear.
All right, so let's go to the Ratliffs. Actually, let's take a break and then we'll go to the Ratliffs. Coming back, the Ratliffs. We just start out with a shot of Patrick Schwarzenegger's butt crack and Lockie kind of checking it out in a way that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, he is considering the male form. That seems clear.
Yeah. Parker Posey slept like a corpse.
I slept like a corpse is again. So let's consider this.
Vicky was my number one last week. She's my number one again.
So okay, that was my question.
We could do MVPs right now. Clear MVP of episode 2.
Does a line like that make you feel sure she's not going to die, or sure she is?
Okay,
you're putting her in the death sweepstakes?
Here's what I'm trying to. Okay, I'm always trying to like figure out based on what we've seen before. It's the hot messes that have died in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
she's coming out the gate a hot mess.
Yeah,
is he going to zag off of the hot messes? Armand like devolved into a hot mess.
Yes, he's
he sure did.
Yeah.
So like it's the drugs or the drinking and the hot messeries like usually leads.
No, but here's the key with her. She's clearly always a hot mess because the family has hit the point when stuff is happening with her, they're all like exchanging little looks at each other, oh, here goes mom.
Yeah.
So this is 365 days a year. She's like this.
Oh, for
my
sure.
take.
Oh yeah.
She's zonked out at breakfast. She can't remember Kate.
She fell asleep
She's got to take a
first
pill.
episode.
She has to take a pill
before
the
her massage.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
The thing
that's
going to that's going to relax you.
She was unbelievable. In
also,
this
her
episode.
ordering the Thai food, just the way that she was pronouncing it with her twang, very good.
Well, we learned Saxton takes Adderall all day.
Just to get shit done.
But before he says that, he does his
I don't do
constant
drugs either,
sucking up. I'm like you, Dad. I'm just like you, Dad. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
I would never.
Steroids, no.
Also, the fact that our guy Tim, was very adamant about saying he doesn't, his body's a temple, right? I just want to spend all of my vacation at the gym. I don't do drugs. I'm still on, and I think we probably all should be, poison fruit watch with this family. Like,
because we're getting a blender.
Can we get a sponsor for that? Poison Fruit Watch is brought to you by State Farm.
We're getting a blender from the butler for the poison fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So Saxon trying to use the poisoned seeds for something, and then either his father accidentally consumes it or his mother guzzles it. Something it's like terrible.
The Wall Street Journal coming on location.
Well, now
can I make you a smoothie?
Washington Post is in on it too.
We might have a whole gaggle.
Like I'm with you. I was thinking about this too. It's the dysfunctional. Rick is our red herring, I think. Right? He's there actively seeking violence and vengeance. But that's not really where the violence comes from.
Yeah.
It's the dysfunctional crew that ends up delivering it, and that's the Ratliffs.
Knowing that there is lorazepam that he's like, I won't take, but watching him unravel Tim, I'm talking about, over the course of the episode, is he going to be digging into his wife's readily available pharmacy at any given time in this season?
That would affect him angrily sprinting on the treadmill. That is tough times for the treadmill in this episode.
I would not spend my vacation that way, personally.
So we also have the baby shower meeting, which I thought was a great scene. I actually thought Leslie Bibb was really good in that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Just keeping the frozen face on.
So,
do you remember me?
We met at a baby shower. So what? Who cares? Actresses are all basically prostitutes if they're lucky. And the kids are just laughing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, mom's on one and it's breakfast.
But this is the family. They make like the most hideous jokes and then they laugh about it.
I love it. I felt right at home.
I bet. Yeah.
I'm always
Simmons
the
family
Piper.
Thanksgiving.
I'm always the Piper.
It's like a Disneyland for rich bohemians from Malibu in their Lululemon yoga pants.
Yeah.
Mike White's, that's it. That's the show.
Mike White's like done.
It's like exactly.
But like then we see Piper doing yoga, by the way.
Yeah, getting a lot of looks from her LBH. Lose her back home.
Yeah, the LBH is checking out. She looked great, by the way, doing the yoga.
Yeah, too much uninterrupted eye contact from that LBH.
Bend your spine elsewhere.
I IMDb'd her because she was looking familiar and it was driving me crazy. She was in that that movie, The Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
That's what she's from. But I didn't make the connection in the first episode. Did you see that movie? Horror movie.
Absolutely.
I think they've styled her so differently for this.
Really, really good movie. Yeah, they darkened her hair and they did some stuff. But the big thing, and it's sad that I thought of Mal immediately, was Saxton.
Oh, the boner.
Getting a massage. I'm like, here we go. The massage boner scene. We're on alert. And then boom, they went for it.
Saxon delivered across the entire episode once again, though, of course.
What do you think for like a robotic fake boner under the sheets?
Oh.
Like, was there special effects involved?
Yeah, some sort of like hydraulic.
Underneath there.
A hydraulic, I think,
kind.
probably.
Like,
yeah.
Blowing up something?
Are you hoping that HBO has an end of the episode sort of making of the boner?
Can I buy this at a store? Can I surprise my wife with it one night? Like what is this available?
Yeah.
Is it on Amazon? How do I get it?
I'm sure you can find something similar, yeah.
So then we have Chelsea, who's just talking during her massage. She's one of those.
Yep.
just like
Talking about different
the Enneagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the dad angry running on a treadmill.
I'm sure this is relatable. What do you do during your massages? Really relatable podcasting content, but like I'm a no talking. Why are we talking?
The whole point is to like fall asleep.
I just want to listen to the tinkling.
Yeah, zone out.
You don't get massages.
I've only had one massage in my
I feel like
entire
Mal's
life.
entire vertebrae would just crumble like
What
a
if
chocolate chip
what
cookie.
if we got you a lorazepam to take before the massage?
Can we
I
do
did
a ringer
enjoy the
video of
one.
Mal getting a massage, like a Swedish massage? I don't know what happened. I really feel like vertebrae would just chip off.
It's entirely possible. Yeah, just pretzel dust.
Or it could just change your life.
I did enjoy the one I had. It was like a mud treatment.
Oh yeah,
Very
Wonderful.
soothing.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
There were a couple treatments during this episode.
You're like, I
that
would do
I looked
it.
at my wife. There was that foot treatment that Belinda was getting. I was like,
yeah.
what is that? That was
The
amazing.
milk soap
Oh,
and
yeah.
sea
Yeah.
salt
Porn Chai's
scrub?
whole thing was,
Yeah,
I mean,
agreed.
yeah.
We hit Parker Posey takes the pills before the massage.
Yes.
Aggressive.
Yeah,
And then let's talk our guy Goggins doing stress therapy.
boy, and Lockie in the deprivation tank.
Lockie
too.
in the
Oh, yeah,
deprivation tank.
Yeah.
Also, just by the way, for the Ratliff family,
Yes,
you're killing it, Pam. She got great
Pam.
treatments for all of them. You're killing it, Pam.
Pam. But then she had to go and tell Tim to get off his phone call.
And he's like, I would feel a lot better if you stopped talking
Yes,
to me.
Pam.
She's like, okay.
Cut it out.
You want to talk about
Rick's
Goggins
treatment.
therapy?
Yeah.
We learned a lot.
We really did.
Learned a lot. Finally, Goggins showed up for the season.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Felt like he was on autopilot for an episode and a quarter. And then now we
here.
get some real acting going and
He's
some
here.
real,
Yeah,
here
some
we go.
heavy story. So his mom was a drug addict, OD'd when he was 10, and his dad was murdered before he was born. So are we pivoting?
By Scott
Yeah.
Glenn.
So Jim Hollinger is not his father. He's the guy that
Killed
Rick
his dad.
thinks killed his dad.
Or
Yeah.
that was the story he was told that his dad was murdered.
And he'll
his dad
find
wasn't
out
actually
it's actually
murdered.
his
It's
dad.
one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both are in play.
Yeah.
And I think it's even odds for each way that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had an identity. I'm nothing. Nothing comes from nothing,
Nothing
right?
comes from nothing.
This was actually heartbreaking.
First time you came close to tears? Or was it the
It's
the
good to
boner
talk about
massage?
things with a wise Indian, though, don't you think?
I was really moved by this. I thought it was really sad and touching.
Well, it was also touching that Saxton was furious he didn't get a happy ending and that Parker Posey thought this was hilarious.
Just an unbelievable
she thinks
scene.
all the shitty things he says is so funny.
They're kind of perfect. They're the best couple on the show.
and Piper's just like, how is this my family?
Yeah.
How? Lockie again
It's me.
pulled, right? The tug of
me,
Lockie,
the
tug
Piper.
of war.
Yeah.
But Piper's just like, this is not. Why do you guys think these things are okay to say? We get another version of it at the dinner table later.
Yeah.
It's an incredible dynamic.
Well, so he's drawing into characters he's kind of messed with before.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Parker
Sure.
Posey's on the Coolidge character corner.
Sure.
Jennifer Coolidge
Yeah, yeah.
character. The we talked about how Saxton is like the Jake Lacey on
Yeah, yeah.
steroids, basically.
Theo James.
Then
Yeah.
Piper, pieces of like the Sydney Sweeney and her friend that season one, the two
Olivia and
kind
Paula.
of
Yeah.
a little bit judgmental, like just, I guess she's supposed to be
Ashamed of her
how old is she
family.
supposed to be?
She's
She's
at
at college.
the end of
In college. Like
Doing
she's
working
like
on her
20,
thesis.
21. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's in that judgmental, I don't really like anybody
Mhm.
phase, which is,
Which
by the way,
some of
pure
us
delight
never,
when you're the parent.
some of us never grow out of that.
Yeah, it's really great to go through. I have no personal experience with this at all. But my goal for Parker Posey and Saxton for one of the next episodes is
Saxon. There's no T in the middle.
I call him Saxton.
Why?
I thought it was Saxton.
No.
Are you
It's
sure?
It's Saxon. Yeah. Mal's right.
certain. Yeah.
Mal's always right about names. It's
No,
really
I'm
annoying.
not always right about names. But
How
I
did
am
I
sure
already have a
this
name
is-
mess up 2
I think
episodes
I said it
in?
wrong last week.
I am
Oh, is that
sure
what it
that
was?
this
I
is-
followed Joe.
You-
It's
yeah, you
Joe's
can
fault.
blame
He's
me.
my favorite character in the history of television. I'm sure I'll mess up other names at some point,
Well,
but
so-
not Dear Saxon.
Can we get Saxton and Parker Posey, just the two of them going out in the town in Thailand
I'm
and
already
going shopping and maybe getting a drink and
Yeah.
just like
and then what?
10 minutes
Well,
together.
we
Just,
are-
just
and
them
then
being
what?
offensive to each
we
other.
already said there's some
And then
serious
what?
Targaryen energy from this family.
Yeah. Oh,
So
Jesus.
if Damon can dream about fucking his mom, why can't we get that with Victoria and Saxon? No? Yes?
You're going Targaryen energy with this family?
They're constantly
mean,
talking about each other's sex lives.
The conversation between Lockie and Piper
Yeah,
about
in
her
the ocean
virginity.
hammocks?
Like,
Wait, have you ever used an ocean hammock like that? That seemed amazing.
that looked so nice.
Never.
Oh my
Never
God.
have.
I was hoping you'd be able to tell us what it was like. That seemed great.
Let's go.
Okay.
and just read in the ocean hammock all day.
You don't
I
like
don't
that?
think so.
Nice?
No, I think hammocks are great.
Yeah. And it's
don't
like
think
you're
so.
in it, you're in the
In the
water enough to be
ocean.
refreshed.
Yeah.
But also you're above the water. Though maybe then
man.
you'd get cold, but it does seem very hot there. It seemed lovely.
Well, they have like some of those destination places where they
Yeah.
build the hotel. It's just in the water.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
No?
Like the
It
Maldives.
would freak you out.
Where you're just like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
there's like a big wave, you just all die. Basically.
One of my
You
best
just-
friends just did this for a honeymoon. It sounded great.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Apparently,
If
as
the
long as you get
Maldives
over the
wants
hump.
to sponsor us,
Yeah.
I will go to the Maldives.
Maybe that's season 4. Okay, and then we talked about the cougars with the body fat compliment battles.
Incredible.
And we get more info that she's married somebody who she's 10 years younger than or older than.
Yeah. So truly.
Which I was trying to think of the parallels with this in Hollywood.
Aaron
Demi
Taylor
Moore,
Johnson.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Kutcher.
Yeah.
This not a common thing though. The famous actress marrying the 10
Right.
years younger guy.
Right.
Right.
And the implication is that he's also famous.
Yes.
Yes. Because he's the object of much attention and
It
obsession.
feels like this will go badly during the 8-episode run of the show. This relationship.
They're encouraging Laurie as the quote only single one to pursue Valentine. That's like canon in the show now, right? There's an allusion to some past
do you think-
escapade in Cancun. So Jacqueline going in
Jacqueline Lemon?
Jacqueline Lemon after encouraging Laurie to go for it, and then Jacqueline
Steps in instead.
I mean, maybe, but Lori just doesn't seem interested in Valentine. And by the
just doing
way,
a little eyeglass thing.
I don't think Valentine's interested in any of the ladies.
no, I'm
He's
I'm with
interested in
Joe.
gay talk. So
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
I
but
have a
distraction
theory
for the
about
robbery.
Yeah, he's in on the
Valentine's
robbery.
in on the robbery. Yeah.
Like he stopped to talk to gay
Oh,
talk
yeah.
at the gate.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I still
At
think
that exact moment.
Or that
the
was a
flirt-
red herring.
Could be.
It could be, but the fact that he like stopped and was like, "I have tickets to the fight," but he's still. I mean, like he might have just been flirting to get his way, but he was definitely flirting with him.
Yeah.
Did you freeze frame and try to see if you could tell any identifiable part of the
course.
robber?
Yeah. And when
Hard to tell. I was looking at whether he was white American. I just couldn't tell anything. He was completely
He's covered head to toe.
he's
Yeah.
covered. I was listening
There's
to the
the other guy
voice
in the
as well.
car.
The other guy comes out, the driver, briefly, and we can't see the face, but I think Gay Talk can because he's not
100%
wearing
He
a hood and a
100%
hat
saw
and
that guy.
mask.
We get a shot of him clocking that guy.
Yes.
If he goes to the fights on Friday, I feel like
Oh.
that
We'll
guy's
see
going to
him.
be there.
Yeah.
Because he's
First
friends with
sports
Valentine.
scene in White Lotus.
I mean,
Mike White branching out.
That's what he like.
that'd be wonderful.
I'm trying like not to read too much about the season because like people give things away in interviews.
I haven't read one thing.
Me neither,
Like
actually.
literally
Yeah.
not one thing.
I will say this is not like a detail, but Mike White is saying like he tried to push himself in directions that he had not done before. So a sports scene. I mean, we've heard a shootout essentially already. So
It'd be
like,
crazy if they had like a Muay Thai tournament or something, like just like completely over the top.
we have an extra episode.
would
Yeah.
love that.
Maybe that's what it
The
is.
gang goes to the fights.
So how did the robbery?
Yeah.
This seemed too easy. I find it hard to believe you just slide
Well,
into the hotel and do it.
Inside
There's-
job if Valentine is.
But there's more
Right.
security in the front. Like everything about it, it didn't
Yeah.
totally sit right with me.
I feel like
Somebody in that mask, you're just immediately there's 3 people
Yeah, you
noticing
can't
that
get
right
in
away.
the door.
the
Like the
woman
gate.
at the
Yeah.
front desk was like busy looking down at her monitor.
Yeah. It does seem like there should be people at the door. I agree with that.
No, especially in Thailand, you're gonna have like 2 security guards in the front.
And people are walking by during the actual robbery and nobody is
Well,
paying any attention.
Here's
so-
my follow-up question
yeah.
though. It's like Valentine, we feel like it's an inside job and Valentine is part of that.
Yes.
He's Russian. He's handsome. He's in on it. Do you think Chloe's in on it? Because she's like
Oh.
in the dressing room
Oh, this is
Yeah.
good.
and I was just sort of like, is she part of this? Is she
This
like
is why she gets
No,
no,
no one like her.
No,
No
but,
one like her in the world
was- is
when it
she
comes
sort
to
of
Theory
like-
Corner.
I'll be in the shop in the
So
boutique.
you think a prostitute from the Dubai matchmaking site might have been in on a high-scale robbery?
if she and Valentine have like sort of a crime ring going on because
Oh,
she was
man, I
eyeing
love this.
she was eyeing
Yeah.
Saxon
Yeah.
in a way where she was like
Yeah,
cute,
he's hot. Yeah.
but he's also a mark, is he not?
Yes.
He would be an easy mark.
yeah.
So if she and Valentine have a little like let's fleece I mean, this seems like a little clumsy, a sort of daylight robbery with a gun and everything.
Yeah.
But maybe they're getting bolder. I don't know.
Very interesting. I really like this.
I really
it's
like
a
it
little
too.
too like don't shit where you eat because Chloe does seem to really like these restaurants and shops. So she's compromising her leisure time, I think. But I like this.
She knows the bartender by name. Like, she's like in it.
By the way.
This did lead me to a nitpick, though.
Okay.
And I don't want to go back to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So, Greg Gary,
Yeah.
now Gary,
Mitchell, if you prefer.
pulls
Michael.
off this
Yeah.
incredible White Lotus heist of this fake marriage and sets this lady up for over a year, gets all her money, hides in Thailand next to another White Lotus.
I know.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
That's
it's
where
bad.
you're going to end up. Like, nobody will be able to put these two together.
He's like, I've had a taste of luxury. I've been to 2 White Lotuses. I got to collect them all.
Maybe stay near 4 seasons.
I
I don't
agree.
know. It just seemed a
You're
little dubious.
I did have that same thought. And I think it's a really good note. I guess my counterpoint would be real, like, no safer place than Hogwarts, no safer place than the Winterfell Crypts, like, no easier place to freely commit crime and live in sin than a White Lotus. Not only have we
true.
now gotten...
Can even poop in a White Lotus in a room.
We talked last episode about, like, okay, just
The body
dead
count.
bodies, dead bodies, dead bodies. We now have multiples on the robbery front, too.
Yeah.
Remember in season 1, Paula and Kai hit the...
I still don't
the
think
safe.
I still don't think we know the crime rates of the 4 seasons. And so I feel like we wouldn't
All right.
know.
All right.
But by season 7, I'll be with you.
Yeah.
If there's murder in the Alps,
Yes, once
can
we
talk.
get our Cold Lotus
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
Back to the Ratliffs. The sisters fed up with Lockie and Sax, and they have another great dinner. Anytime the Ratliffs are at dinner, I'm in for like
You're
15
in.
minutes.
You're
They don't
diving.
need to cut away. I'm just in for all the combos.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
And then Saxon says, you know what they say, having sex in Thailand is like eating a box of chocolates. You never know which one's going to have nuts. And the mom laughs
Vicky
hysterically.
thinks it's so funny.
She's like, this is
It's
my guy right
It's the
here,
funniest
Saxon.
thing.
Vicky is quite proud of her
She's
dumb
like,
son.
I raised
This is
this.
it.
I made
This is
I
my
made
life
this.
achievement
She's
right
thrilled.
here, this idiot.
She like goes right into making a big speech because Piper again is like, my family is gross, right? Refers to her brother Saxon as a freak earlier in the water hammock scene when Lockie's like, so like Saxon keeps talking about how hot you
How
are,
hard
and
you
about
are,
your
how you
sex
even
life.
fuck.
She's
Right.
like, what the hell is wrong with my family? But then Vicky goes right into a speech about how they need each other, right? But then what does she say specifically? Most people don't have good values. They're scammers. Then she starts to praise them. You're all gorgeous. You come for money, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That powder keg of like,
Her husband's
yes,
the biggest scammer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The first
Right.
episode ended with them in bed, and she's like, everybody tells me what a great man
Yeah,
you
you're
are.
such a great man.
Our guy Tim is
Who's guy?
really going
Our
through
guy?
it, and nobody is going to take it worse than Victoria when she finds out that their life is a lie
When she
and about
finds
to
out
crumble.
5 years later that it happened after she wakes up from
Do you
The
think
90 pills she
do you
took.
think he would take his own life before like his family finds out? Because we get
Yeah.
this like really
Yes.
we get this really sad moment at the end. I mean, I don't have a lot of sympathy for Tim. He sucks, but where he's watching them all walk in and they're all
Yeah.
happy and talking, and he's just sort of like, it's the exact opposite of that scene we got in episode 1 when he's standing like feeling like he has the biggest dick in the world, looking at what he's provided
Right.
for his family.
He doesn't. His
you
son
know?
does, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that ending, it's not just here in the family, but they're talking about a tsunami, which I
Tsunami.
thought was notable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tsunami just takes everything away.
What is it?
Oh.
The symbolism corner with William
Yeah.
Simmons.
I love
I'm
that,
sorry
but
to be on
also
Joe's corner.
No, no, but should we also? I mean, do you think they would do a tsunami on the show?
You know, I thought about
Interesting.
this.
Yeah.
I did. It was noted that they made a point of ending a show talking about a tsunami.
Yeah. Maybe it's all setting up for the eventual Cold Lotus avalanche that you're predicting. You build toward.
Or Naomi
A
Watts is going
natural
to show
event.
up?
Naomi wants us back, holding onto the glass in the pool.
So you guys both love Victoria. She's your shared fave. What does it do for your?
Is that Parker Pose's character?
Yes.
I just call her Parker.
That's fine. That's fine. What does it do for your sense of Victoria to know that her brother who tormented her is called Uncle Babe?
And the one who used to dangle loogies over
Correct.
her nose?
Uncle Babe.
That sounds very, I don't know. Please don't email me if this is wrong. Southern to me.
Uncle Babe.
Babe is like a Southern name.
So she's
loved
from
this. I just
somewhere
loved
deep
this.
south.
yeah.
Uncle Babe. She
Uncle
probably has
Babe.
a bow.
Uncle Babe and his loogies.
Oh, I love a Bo. Bo's a great name.
Angry Dad keeps getting phone calls.
Yep.
He keeps having to leave the table.
I mean,
I gotta take this.
Candy
get
calling
Kenny.
him on a burner. Joanna,
Yeah.
whose voice was this?
This is recent Oscar winner Ki-Hui Kwan, who won for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And what you pointed out, we were texting about
Are
this
we
this
positive
morning.
that this is the voice?
Oh, 1,000%.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you were texting, you were pointing out this morning that last season, Laura Dern showed up as a voice-only cameo on the phone. And she had also recently won an Oscar. So I wonder if Mike White's like
I
just
love this.
trolling the
Wow.
supporting actor category for a recent Oscar winner to do a phone cameo.
This is a great tradition.
What I loved about this interaction, it seemed very obvious to me that these two actors were not talking to each other. There were weird, awkward. I just feel like they had them record it separately.
Mhm.
There were some weird, awkward pauses inside. Of
I
the
thought it was the
conversation.
weakest part of the episode. The performance on the phone. It just sounded like an SNL sketch.
I think
They're coming after me. No!
I think
it was just a
Jason
little over the
Isaacs
top.
saying, "I need a lawyer immediately."
Can we do this now? This is a classic. He's already kind of giving up on the Southern accent.
Yeah.
There was just openly British sentences being said. And,
Immediately.
yeah, he does not sound Southern at all anymore.
Marco
And then he would
Posey
remember
is
every
just
once in a while.
yeah.
elongating the draws
Oh, yeah.
to try
Yeah.
to like stay in it, which
Your
is
Uncle
so funny.
Babe. Yeah,
Best line of the episode for me was, "And I only made $10 million out of your
To money out of the money laundering.
only made $10 million fucking dollars.
Who heard that phone
Hardly
call?
worth it."
Gay
Gay
talk.
Talk heard the call, and
Gay
we
Talk hears
know
everything.
that he speaks English.
Mhm.
That's confirmed. So he's hearing all of this,
And he
like
hears,
he's tracking
if
all
you
of
fuck
it.
me on this, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Only a couple other quick things. Double date with Greg. We get to this and that
Gary.
stuff, and we get Greg Gary, and we learn that he met his lady at a matchmaking service in Dubai, but thought she was French, but she's actually from Quebec.
She's quite offended by this. He's like,
That
"Why
is
are you such a
offensive.
She's like,
stickler?"
it's not the same.
She's Canadian.
You don't
She's
know me
not
at
French.
all.
You dumbass.
Gary.
Come on, Gary.
On top of the hug they share after the robbery and the like prelude to the sex scene and all that sort of stuff like that, the looks that they share.
Yeah, the
that
shorthand.
Rick and Chelsea share at the table, that those looks you share with someone when you're with someone, you know, like
Yeah.
someone
was
really
great.
close to you and you're like,
Yeah, I'm in
oh.
on their relationship.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
They did a good job with that. We get the musical performance from the
Mhm.
matron.
Yep,
Which ruled. I thought
It's
it was
pretty
great.
good.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
We get the almost ending with Carrie Coon and Leslie bitching about Jacqueline.
Mhm.
Highlights. She's so competitive. You'd think with all her success she'd mellow out. She's a narcissist.
yeah.
And the
great.
vanity.
The
Did she
vanity.
sandblast her face or something? God, she had the face everyone wanted. Then they start slamming the boyfriend. I don't think they ever see each other. You know what they say about fronts? The bigger the front, the bigger the back.
No one has
Never
ever
heard that
said-
one.
Literally no one has ever said
Literally,
that.
no one's ever said that before.
Literally no one.
Great, great look on Laurie's
Yeah.
face.
And I
That
think
was
the
so
key thing
funny.
about this is she knows they're talking about her and she just doesn't care.
Yeah. She's like, of
Walks off
course
to
they
the
would be
bathroom.
jealous.
Yeah.
She likes it that way.
Go ahead, ladies. Have at me.
Yeah.
And then we get a almost sex scene. And then, but the big thing, Goggins overhears the hotel owner.
Yes.
My husband's in Bangkok.
So
he had a
he's
stroke.
going to
He's
Bangkok,
recovering.
which is what you call.
Immediately
Is he
immediately
just going
decides
to actually
Bangkok.
like tail her? Like,
I feel
do we
like
think
he's-
he's going to just be following
I
her
feel like
car
he's going
next
to
episode?
Gay Talk, that he's going to Bangkok and then, let's just take that again so I don't say character's name instead of Bangkok. I feel like he's going to Bangkok and then
Yeah.
what does that mean for Chelsea all alone at the
Wow.
White Lotus?
So this is one of my
Oh, no.
episode 3 previews. Could there be a romantic something? Could there be a drinking too much at the bar? Saxon stepping in?
Not Saxon, Chelsea, anyone but Saxon.
This is Mike White. He's going to make us
I know,
uncomfortable.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
He
just
has
saying.
sucked us in with Chelsea, and she has to make a bad decision with
Yeah.
the next 2 episodes.
I think I'm prepared for Saxon to have sex with literally anyone in the show this season, including his own family members,
Yeah.
other than Chelsea.
Yeah, Vicky's
Wow.
on the table.
This is-
Piper.
Vicky would love to be on the table to fuck her son.
Yes.
Would love to.
God.
She loves him.
Well, they seem like they're getting along, but he's
Yeah.
going to Bangkok, which means
he was also kind of
we get to
wounded.
go to Bangkok
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
with Goggins.
I can't wait. She
Maybe
has
that's part of what Mike White is talking about. I'm leaving the resort. We're going to
an actual road trip,
Yeah,
not just like a little ride
jaunt
to
to
the
town.
restaurant. He did seem kind of like, I thought this was also very charming, hurt when she kept saying how old he was. You know, she's like, I'm young and fun, and you're old and grouchy. And he was like, thanks.
You're losing your hair,
You know?
yeah.
He was like, fuck this. But
So
also,
and then the big things we learned His dad's dead, but we don't know if he's dead. There's a money laundering thing that our guy who can't decide what accent he's going to use made $10 million in his career, and people know, and he's about to be really fucked.
Yeah.
There's some weird robbery.
Yeah.
That we don't know the mechanics behind it or who is involved, and if that's a bigger ring going on, which is another thing he loves. And then something's going to happen with Lockie that's not going to be great.
Yeah.
There's a curiosity with him that is going to manifest itself at some point during the season. It really is. It's
I feel like sometimes that character, though, like Quinn in season 1, is the one who ends up actually having a positive experience, like learning something about themselves that's meaningful and actually ending up in a better
after
place
he lost
at the
his
end of the
iPad
week.
in the water and he really rallied back.
Yeah, like tried to jack it on the beach, couldn't, lost his
So he's just
electronics,
gonna,
and wound out
be an outrigger.
communing with nature. Instead, it was beautiful. The crime ring front, like, where are we on monkey corner? Because we did get a monkey call out. That scared the shit out of me. I thought it was a monkey when Laurie.
There's also constant ominous shots of
the
monkey statues.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, an actual monkey's kind of crawling towards something. Like they're.
Yeah, it did make me think the fact that there's this, like, perhaps.
You're on the monkey theory now.
Am I in on Joanna's monkey theory? How did this happen? I don't understand. Because if there are plants inside the hotel.
Yeah.
And people are just waiting to try things, it does seem like the actual natural circumstances there, whether it's the poisonous seed pods or the monkeys, like, could really actually come into play. But, we all spent all of season 2 wondering, like, literally what was going to happen with the head statues. And of course, it was more thematic.
Not a symbol.
Wait, we got to take a break. We're back. What were you going to say, Joe?
I was going to say, can we talk about Mook and Gay Talk?
They need a spinoff. They are so
I love
so
Mook, and I
cute.
feel like something horrible is going to happen to her now.
I won't allow it. I simply won't allow it.
They must be saved. I'm worried about his hero complex. I'm worried about...
Gay Talk is almost a lock to be dead by episode 7. Right?
I think
like, just lock it down.
I think he's going to be pulled into a bad decision to try to impress her. That's what I think. Because she's, like, drawn to the Hollinger security guys. They're tough. They make money. They get to go on adventures. They travel. They see the world. And he's like, can you have lunch with me? My mom cooked us a meal. And it's
so sweet.
Even though it is super, it was heart-meltingly sweet. And even though, like...
And I loved her response, too.
Yes.
Because she's just like, we've never been on a date.
Yeah.
You can't love, what are you talking about?
Right. And also the, like, list of things that they share in common, these ties that bind them, the fact that they're from the same place, it's like, that's not sexy and fun, right? But when he's hurt...
She's worried about him.
The way that she, like, came to check on him was just so sweet, and he couldn't believe it. It was clearly the best thing that had happened in his life, that the person he loves cared about him and wanted to make sure he was okay. I was like, that was when I got emotional during the episode. It was so sweet.
So you're like, he's going to put himself in danger again just to get another hit of that Mook concern?
Or just like...
So during the Muay Thai tournament, somebody's going to be like, hey, can you hold this cash? I just won 5,000. Like one of those kind of moments.
I'm concerned.
Him either holding cash, helping somebody
or
get
he's
away
heard
with
all
something.
this stuff that Tim has said. He has incriminating intel. What if he tries to use it to get money out of him?
Very worried about. I don't think he's going to try to. I don't. That seems like a.
Did Tim see Gay Talk listening to him?
I think he probably ignorantly and wrongly assumes that he doesn't understand him.
Yeah, I don't think he registered the second time. I think he locked eyes with him the first time, though.
Yeah. I mean, he, like you noted, he just flat out hears him threaten to commit murder. So that's worrying. But yeah, Mook and Gay Talk are the best.
All right, let's do. Do you want to do predictions? What other corners do you have before we go to predictions?
No other corners. I just want to shout out one other person that is a delight to me every time, which is Fabian, the manager, who like is singing along all the words while his boss is singing.
Yeah.
He's been writing songs, Joe. He's been learning to play the piano.
He's a dreamer.
When they're like, you should perform, he's like, oh, I
can
couldn't.
never.
I'm the boss. I love him.
It feels very intentional to me after Armand and Valentina that the manager of the hotel is clearly not the main character of the hotel staff this time. He is more of our like kind of comic relief side figure. And
he takes things so literally and so
Gay
seriously.
Talk are the central act. And of course, the prime ship of the show.
And
Belinda.
Belinda and Pornjay.
Well, we got
those two need to fuck.
Belinda and Pornjay.
Oh my God.
We should point out that we didn't talk about Belinda for the first 50 minutes of this podcast because she was the
wasn't in it
least
that
interesting plot by far.
It was,
they haven't figured out what to do with it yet.
Oh, guys, so she
That's
saw
it.
she saw
Greg.
Greg.
But
Gary.
she didn't.
Gary.
Let's go with Michael.
Gary, Greg
She saw
Ross.
Mitchell. She saw Pierre.
So did it strike you guys that she was like, I know him from somewhere, but
I can't
didn't actually place it?
Yeah, she can't
It
place
almost seemed like she was thinking that, no, that can't be him. It was like
Yeah.
that was the conclusion.
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was
they're
more
going to have to
like-
interact again.
He
Yeah.
looks familiar, but I can't remember where I know him from.
It's going to be powerful when it clicks into
Yeah.
place, I think.
Yeah.
It was disappointing because I thought that was going to be the big episode 2. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe
Yeah.
they're
He's
saving
toying
it.
with
rolling it
us.
out.
Yeah.
We got 6 more episodes to go, guys.
Yeah.
Gary, what have you been up to? Yeah, this and that. Doing stuff.
A lot of that
Listen
going
to
around. Yeah.
Hanging out. All right, what do you got for theories?
Boy.
I mean, I'm delighted to welcome you all to Monkey Corner. It's like thrilling to me.
It's great. Great to be here. Love monkeys.
I'm really into the crime ring idea.
Yeah, I like
there's
that.
a crime ring at the hotel. And Hot Mess Express, it's Vicky. Like, Vicky not making it out feels likely to me. What do you think?
Do they do that a season after Hot Mess Express? Jennifer Coolidge doesn't make it out?
But Armand is also Hot Mess Express. But you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
it's too close to Jennifer Coolidge. Maybe we need someone to like devolve into Hot Mess Express. Or maybe it's someone who's got it all together this time.
That's my biggest 180 from episode 1 to episode 2. I wasn't positive the Parker Posey character was working for me.
Oh, I know. But
Yeah.
you like her
And then
now.
in the second one, I
Yeah.
was like, I totally get it. This is
it.
fucking
The
amazing.
way that her eyes are just like squinted the whole time because she's just blasted.
the way she handled the Leslie Bibb
Yeah.
from Megan
Funny.
10 years ago,
Yeah.
just the way she was laughing at Saxton.
Who's your number one? I'm worried about you.
Gay talk.
Gay talk.
I'm incredibly concerned.
My number one's
No.
Chelsea.
No, I think Chelsea. I just can't maybe bear to consider. That
I
something
can't bear
bad
to
will happen.
consider gay talk.
Me neither, but it just feels like
Let's go for Valentine.
I don't necessarily think he's going to die, but I wonder if he's going to set something in motion that then can't be contained. Like, I feel like he's going to get swept up in this somehow. Certainly, the Ratliffs all feel like they might just implode.
My friend Dave, who's one of the EPs of the show, who
Yeah.
I haven't asked him for any information at all, but I did ask him if Amy Lou, if she's cool. And he said she's the fucking best.
She
Yeah.
seems awesome.
That was the
She's-
scouting report.
she seems awesome.
great. I'm interested to see what happens with her the next like 5 years.
I have
Because
a-
she's definitely got something.
Yeah.
yeah,
I have
no
a question
doubt.
about the triangle of trust.
Yeah. Trust triangle.
I'm so sorry. The Jacoby
TM,
trust.
TM Dave Jacoby, the trust
The
triangle.
DJ TT. Do you feel like that this is going to come to a head and they're going to like actively yell at each other, wild at each other, or is it always
It's going to be a drunk overhearing thing.
It's going to be a drunk
That's going
overhearing
to.
thing.
By the
Okay.
way, the king of the trust triangle, Fantasy and Chris Ryan.
like that's
You
locked down.
lose. If you're the third with
Yeah.
them, no matter who the third is, they lose.
What if the third
Doesn't matter if it's Zach Barron.
I was just gonna say, what if the
loses.
third is
No,
Zach
still a
Barron?
loss.
What about Andy Greenwald?
Fantasy and Chris?
Oh,
The
Greenwald
trust
would be-
triangle, you lose.
Andy Greenwald.
You tell Chris something, he's going to tell Sean. You tell Sean something, he's telling Chris. You just have to know.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Greenwald is
trust triangle in action.
Yeah, I do think Greenwald and Chris have a.
Andy and
No, I
Chris.
think fantasy still trumps it. This is a good get ringer game show. Trust triangle. Have people guessing who wins the
Would be
triangle.
wonderful. Yeah.
What could go wrong?
That's
People wouldn't get mad at
nothing.
all.
No, this is fine. This is a fine subject to talk about. How about you? Who's
Yeah.
your
Who are you most worried about?
Chelsea.
Chelsea?
Easily. And I think Mook is going to make a bad decision with Saxon. I think that's just a Mike White move. It's just, I'm going to,
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
like this guy and you like this person. Well, I'm going to do this.
So, do we think the spray of gunfire is this crime ring rather than one of the guests?
I mean, yeah, like we've
Yeah.
seen a gun now.
Yeah.
So like the Hollinger guards could be involved.
Yeah.
Members of the crime ring could be involved.
The monkeys, obviously.
The monkeys
could be
obviously get a
involved.
hold of the guns.
Yeah.
The
The monkeys having ingested the poison seeds of the
I can
fruit.
see Rick having a gun, but Rick already said he's too nervous to travel with weed. So I don't think he traveled with a
Smart
gun.
move. He saw Broke Down Palace.
Exactly. I wrote that in
Can't
my
fuck
notes. I
around
was
with
like,
that.
he's also a fan of Broke Down
Yeah,
Palace.
he knows.
But
Claire Dance, take me, take me.
but he could procure a gun, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, so the big thing that's going to happen for the show from a mixing things up standpoint is when we go to Bangkok.
Mhm.
That's going to open two things: Bangkok, and then if they actually take ATOC to the fight or whatever the sporting event, wherever we're going on Friday
He
night.
said that it's on Friday, which is
Yeah.
within our week. So I feel like we're going.
Right. What day of the week
We
would a
don't know.
vacation at the White Lotus start?
Sunday?
It's
A Sunday to Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought, I mean, it could be
Monday?
any day. It doesn't
Could be
really
any
matter.
day,
They could
yeah.
have showed up on like a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bangkok, when we go there, that also gives us a chance to maybe have some new characters too.
Mm-hmm.
A couple new ones.
Yes. Right. I think you're right that we got episode 3 or 4. We got to get some new people in the mix for sure.
I'm excited to go to Bangkok.
Me too. Yeah.
I've enjoyed
Scott-
my time in Thailand.
Yeah.
It seems great. I'll
Well,
never
real-
go, but it seems awesome.
A real 180 on your take
seems
last
great.
week when
Yeah.
you're like, Thailand, I'll never go there.
Even Rick.
Still won't, but I'm really enjoying being there vicariously.
Only took Rick one day to opt in. He was like, I'm not going to eat anything, enjoying all of his meals the second day, says he's not going to go to his stress management session.
Chelsea
she forced me to sign up for another one. I won't go again. Yes, he will.
Chelsea managing him where she's like, oh, we already signed up. We're going to have to pay anyway. Guess you got to go.
By the way, my wife does that too.
Yeah.
It's an incredible move.
Great move. Great
Yeah.
move.
You just lock it down. You can't get out of it.
You would like this place. You're Mr. Like, I'm on a juice cleanse.
The only
I did a
time-
cold plunge.
Only twice did it get me the coconut balls, whatever that one was,
Yeah.
and then the when Belinda had her feet in that
That looked
pool
nice.
thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
The
now
neck
I'm
crack
starting
and
to
the
think about it.
massage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Belinda saw stars when she got her
she
neck.
sure did.
her neck crack.
Hopefully not for the last time.
Yeah.
Any more theories before we wrap it up?
Nope.
Mal?
I don't think so. I think we've talked about like what seems ominous or promising for all of our faves here.
So MVP of the first episode, we had Saxon.
yeah, the two of us did. I don't know if Joe did.
You're not, but who was your MVP?
Of the first episode?
Yeah,
Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Maybe Chelsea. I
Mhm.
really like her a
But
lot.
episode 2, we're all going with
It's
Victoria. Yeah,
It's Parker
Right?
Posey. Or who do you want
Has
to
to
pick?
be.
Yeah, I if I could pick a duo, I would pick Rick and Chelsea, or like
Yeah.
a unit, I would pick Rick and Chelsea. If I had to pick one person, I would pick Victoria.
Yeah.
I'm expecting huge things out of Laurie in episode 3. It's huge things. Feels like it's going to be a
Carrie-
Carrie
Oh.
Coon
You don't bring
episode.
Carrie Coon to Thailand
Yeah.
to not let her
Yeah.
do
I feel like it
what
has
Carrie
to be a
Coon
Carrie
can
Coon
do.
episode.
what's your apex Carrie Coon moment?
Leftovers.
crying in the hotel and Leftovers
Yeah, come on.
season 2. Yeah. How about you?
It's always one of those where I like her every time she pops
Oh,
in
she's
anything I'm
perfect.
watching.
She's perfect.
It's probably about as high of an approval rating as I've had for an actor or actress. There's
What
just
if-
certain people you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this will be good.
She's always amazing. What if he had just said like Proxima Midnight?
Of course, his favorite of Thanos' children. She's in a Marvel movie. It's
Sort
the
of.
worst thing.
I
she
gotta
They
ever
really
look
did.
at her
wasted her.
IMDb right now.
Yeah, do it.
Can you guys fill time for 2 seconds?
Yeah. There's Fargo. She's great on Fargo.
She is great on Fargo.
You're a huge Gilded Age fan.
Oh, I mean, I love the Gilded Age, and she on the Gilded Age is married to one of the great recent like
With the
loves of my
mustache.
life.
Yeah. But is she like? Do they give Carrie Coon enough to do on the Gilded Age?
Let me try to give you the log line for her character. They're the new money family.
Yeah.
Right. And they come in and she is like, I will not be made to feel less than by the old money. I will win my stake as the leader of the social circle by opening a new opera house.
This is the Opera Box drama that I heard so much about.
It is an entire, I mean, it's really the entire
Okay, and
season
that
2
was
plot line.
delightful, and your face telling me it was delightful. Do they give Carrie Coon enough to do in this show?
She's like the
No,
she's
It's a slow burn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gilded Age?
she's
Okay.
she's great. She's one
I
of the
forgot.
lead characters.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
I loved her in Gone
Oh,
Girl. She
yeah.
was great in Gone Girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is
Ben
great in
Affleck's
Gone
sister.
Girl.
Sister, the
She
sister.
is great in Gone Girl.
No, that's a slow burn. They're gonna. I think she cooks more than anyone else in the show. Like
Yeah.
halfway through,
Yeah.
they're waiting for her.
Yeah.
This one, she was just kind of drunk and happy and sizing people up and waiting to see if she could
But I did think
pull
like,
Leslie Bibb over to her side a little bit.
the gossip sesh was so good. She did a full body sort of like, I know,
Yeah.
like excited to talk about shit talk her friend. They all hate each other. It's great.
All right, pre-cap you and Mahoney on Wednesday.
Yep.
After episode 2, looking ahead to episode 3,
Correct.
and then we will be back
Can't wait.
Sunday night yet
This
again.
has been an
Thanks to the
absolute
crew
pleasure.
as always. Kai and Justin, everybody back there.
Kai in
Um,
LA.
I like her.
Kai in
LA
LA.
Kai.
Unbelievable.
What a thrill.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank you.